The more you read, the more things you will know. The more you learn, the more places you'll go. Dr. Seuss said it best. Take the time to really learn about and research the markets you plan to enter. Do research, get advice, and seek to understand how the culture works. It could save you time and money and take your business to places you thought you'd never go. Good morning. I'm Dr. Breda Kenny, Head of School of Business at Cork Institute of Technology, soon to be Munster Technological University in Ireland. I'm honoured to speak to you at the 20th Kerttu Saalasti Anniversary Seminar. My own research background is in the area of inter-firm collaboration for SME internationalisation and entrepreneurship education. Today, as you may have gathered from the opening quotation, I will focus on international market research by outlining the context and challenges for internationalising small firms, address how we can support them, and what they themselves can do to enhance their research capability. The most recent figures from Eurostat on trade in EU member states show that the vast majority of importers and exporters of goods are SMEs. Within the group of SMEs, the majority are micro-enterprises, followed by small and then by medium enterprises. However, large firms are a small minority of the number of enterprises, but in many member states account for the largest share in trade value among the four size classes. It's also noted that exports and imports are both equally important when it comes to internationalising. The most common route for SMEs to internationalise is to become integrated into global value chains by supplying multinational corporations. Less than 20% of SMEs are involved in internationalisation as subcontractors. Less than 10% of them partnered with a foreign enterprise on R&D, and only 4% invested directly in a foreign-based firm. These figures show that there is scope for increased internationalisation of European SMEs. Despite this level of international trade by micro and small firms, we know from research and policy work that barriers to internationalisation prevail, and these include a lack of information about foreign markets, difficulties in finding business partners abroad, burdensome administrative procedures, limited human resources, access to finance to scale, and challenges in the target markets through different business environments. The key question is what can be done to widen the scope of international operations for small firms. The first step in addressing this opportunity is to sharpen the research skills, competence, and support structures to equip these firms with the knowledge and information to understand and overcome these barriers. The literature in this area distinguishes between international knowledge and market knowledge. International knowledge, also defined as internationalization knowledge, is an experiential knowledge of doing international business activities. This form of experiential knowledge deals with the ability of firms' key individuals to identify and evaluate new market opportunities, deal with firm stakeholders and network partners, and to manage resources by screening both home and host country markets. Market knowledge, on the other hand, is associated with knowledge about customers' needs, business climates, and cultures of specific foreign markets. This type of knowledge is market-specific and is generally acquired through experience. Small firms, however, are faced with a number of questions and dilemmas. For example, have they enough people to research and prepare entry to new markets? Can they find trustworthy information from competent experts on the market or markets they want to enter? The internet is key for market research, but they have to be prepared to devote additional time and human and financial resources to this exercise. Can they identify the unique qualities of the product or service they want to sell in these new markets? Are they able to adapt their product or service to the requirements of these new markets? Is there capacity to expand production quickly if demand picks up substantially? From research, we know that the internationalizing firm have different needs. Depending on how long they've been established before they decide to go abroad, rapidly internationalizing firms also have different needs to latecomers. Exporting firms have different needs to micro multinationals, which are going abroad through deeper cooperation, for example, through joint ventures. SMEs in peripheral parts of Europe face different challenges when it comes to internationalizing than others. And in addition to all of these, many SMEs are confused by the number and variety of support programs on offer in various countries. So how can we support them? How can we support small firms in researching international markets? The list of questions just mentioned implies that support has to be tailor-made. Typically, personalized advice in addition to support portals are helpful. Advice needs to distinguish between first-time and experienced exporters. The key expertise required covers customs, export regulations, and contract law requirements in the target market. One-stop shops can make support more accessible. Advice should also be provided in the native language of entrepreneurs. Given the importance of networks for SMEs seeking to go global, facilitating the creation of international business partnerships and networking is of great importance. The role of networks is crucial in building and maintaining business relationships in target markets and getting access to relevant market knowledge. The research here suggests there's a link between the number of networks between two regions and the number of entrepreneurs trading between these two regions. So how can small firms themselves research international markets? Market research is one of the most useful tools that a business can use to further develop the way it understands customers and maximize potential for profit and growth. It's essential for any business decision and even more essential for international business decisions. Without market research, we are reliant on instinct and anecdotal information which is not always accurate. Start by collecting trade data to gauge market size. Look for where opportunities may exist, whether demand is increasing or decreasing, and the nature of competition. For smaller companies, identifying 3 to 5 potential markets might be a good number to explore. It may be helpful to group potential countries by largest markets, fastest growing markets, smaller markets with high growth, or other relevant criteria. Then review country and industry reports to assess market conditions, opportunities, and challenges. This will help deciding which markets represent the best opportunities and are worth investing of additional resources. SMEs should build long-term networks and social capital with each other and with customers. They also need to make effective use of the internet and e-commerce, for example, through joint marketing activities and inter-firm cooperation. Transnational entrepreneurs can play an important role in internationalization, and building appropriate networks can establish business links with third markets. To sum up, small firms are active in international markets through import, export, and global value chain integration. While the scope of this activity can be expanded, there are challenges and risks associated with this expansion. These challenges and risks can be mitigated through comprehensive and ongoing international market research effort, but this effort should not be a solitary one. Seek support from enterprise support agencies, network contacts, higher education and research institutes to inform any decision-making. But also remembering that going international is not suitable or desirable for all SMEs, and this decision should be left up to them. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed the seminar and the networking later. Bye for now.